Okay, right. Today we are going to discuss on the topics of abstraction and polymorphism. First, we can create a package. First, we have to observe what is in before classes. We started with the oops. In that oops, we discovered the why we need an oops and all the things. And later, we are covering with the inheritance concepts and the types of the inheritance and inheritance how helps to us. Next, we are discuss the encapsulation in the previous session. It was day 15. Correct. Com.day 15. In this session, we are going to discuss the abstraction as well as the interface. And creating public static void mentioning apps. First, we have to observe what is an abstraction. In before we discuss the inheritance. Inheritance means code reusability. That means one class properties and methods you can use in a other class. Right. Likewise, we are discussing the encapsulation. In the encapsulation means you have to be. That means hiding the data or data binding. That means by using the access modifiers you have to bind the data to the particular class. That is the purpose. Now we are discussing the abstraction. Every class has the two things, right? One was the properties, another thing was the methods. Here abstraction means hiding the internal implementation. Implementation show the necessary details. Like means suppose imagine, take an example of you are taking the money from a ATM, right? If you are taking the money from the ATM, in such case you are just insert a card into the ATM and enter your pin and enter the amount to withdraw or amount to deposit, like that. But you don't know how internal implementation, that means how it will collect the money from the cash box and how it will count. That is not a necessary information. What is the necessary information to you? You have to enter a pin and you have to insert a card. After completion of that you have to remove the card. That are the necessary information. Like that, abstraction is to behave such type of things, showing the necessary information to the users and hiding the implementation. That is the thing. Here abstraction you can achieve by using the abstract keyword. We are calling as a abstract classes also. In the abstraction you are using the abstract classes. If you are using abstract keyword for the class, abstract keyword for the class. Abstract classes means you are using the abstract keyword for the class. Suppose in before this class I can use the abstract, then it will be the abstract class, right? uh, Next thing, it contains abstract classes contains, one was the abstract methods, next was and regular methods or concrete methods. Regular methods, one was the abstract methods, another thing was the regular methods. Okay, next thing, abstract method means, abstract method means defining the method and writing the implementation somewhere in. Define the method and write info somewhere. Next, regular method means what you are using in a normal programming. Define and implementation at the same position. Suppose you can't create an object for the normally if you want to access any class methods or any class attributes, you want to create an object for the class, and by creating object only you can access the class. But here for the abstract classes you are not able to create the objects. If you are declaring something with the abstract classes means the meaning is you are hiding the implementation, so you are not allowed to creating any object to that. Then how can you access those abstract class properties and the methods? By using is subclasses, like an inheritance concept. By inherit that abstract class into some child class only, you can able to get it, you can able to get that, or use the methods and the properties. Suppose take an example. Abstract classes you can't create the objects, only way to access those is those by inherit into the subclasses. By using the inheritance only you can access it, otherwise you can't access. For example, I can create a abstract class. Show an example. Abstract. For declaring any class as an abstract you must use that thing. Do one thing. Okay. Ah, class I have to declare outside, right? So abstract. In that abstract, suppose I declaring a class as a suppose dog. Wait a minute. Hello. Wait a minute. ఒక నిమిషం ఉండండి హాస్టల్ దగ్గర ఉన్నారు. ఒక నిమిషం. హలో అన్న, కింద అది ప్యాకేజ్ రిటర్న్ ఇవ్వ. కబోర్డ్లో కింద ఉంది. Okay. I am creating one class as a dog. Suppose, right. I am creating one abstract class. Abstract class you can create by using the abstract keyword. Okay. Like that, suppose you want to create the abstract methods, then abstract my method name, suppose void how to make sound. Suppose make sound is a example. Make sound is, this is one abstract method you want to create. You can create by using the abstract keyword only, the abstract methods. Normal method means, suppose another thing as a public void sound. Suppose it is another method. This is out of uh, suppose bow. Okay, bow is a supports a sound. This is the abstract method. Abstract class is a combination of a abstract methods and the regular methods. You can only declare the abstract classes also, it was not an issue. You can only declare the regular methods also, it will not an issue. But you can create a both. There is an option to create the both. That is the thing. And next, suppose now I can try to create an object for this abstract class. Suppose my class name here is dog, right? So dog d equals to new dog of. Okay, suppose I'll try to, normally this is the way we can create an object, right? Can't initiate the type dog. Why? Because the dog is a type of abstract, so abstract classes you can't allow to create an object. So then how can I use it, or how can I use those methods? Okay, how can I use those methods is simply I can use the inheritance. Suppose I can inherit that abstract into the extents of here, suppose dog, right? Now it is a child class, right? Why it shows an error? Because always when you are inherit, you have to must define or write the implementation for the abstract classes. Any abstract methods you are declaring, in the abstract classes, that you have to be write the implementation in the subclass, or else it will throws an error. Simply void make sound, void make sound of, suppose it's out. Okay, suppose this is the sound. Then I can create an object for this. Okay, then I can create an object for this. For the subclass I can create an object. By creating object for the subclass, then I can access it. Suppose a1 equals to new కింద బిల్డింగ్ దగ్గర ఉన్నాను, కింద బిల్డింగ్ దగ్గర ఉన్నాను. ఒక నిమిషం. వాడు కట్ చేస్తున్నాను. హలో, వాడు కట్ చేస్తానన్నా. అదే చేస్తున్నాను కట్ చేస్తున్నాడు. సరే వెళ్ళి పైకి కింద పెట్టి, లేకపోతే దాని మీద ఫ్రిడ్జ్ మీద కింద పెట్టేసి వెళ్ళు. ఒకళ్ళు ఫోన్ చేస్తా. ఫోన్ చేస్తా. సరే నేను చేస్తాను మళ్ళీ. ఉన్నా అన్నాడు బిల్డింగ్ దగ్గర ఉన్నా అన్నాడు, అందుకని చేసి. సరే నేను చేస్తాను. I can create an object for my abstract class. Suppose abstract of. This is the way I can create an object. Then I can call by using the a1 dot make sound. Right, a1 dot make sound. In the same way, I can access the abstract class regular methods also. The method what we have, public void sound is there, right? Then I can access this public void sound also by using this child class only. Why? Because we are not able to create the object directly for the abstract classes, so we can create by using the child classes. You can access it, right? Then you can call the sound. Now you can call it as a sound. If you observe that you are declaring in one method, but that means hiding the implementation. How can you achieve is you are declaring the methods in one class, but you are calling it from the other class, and also you are declaring the method here, but you are writing the implementation in the child class. So this is the way you can hide it. Console, I'll show the output. Right, this is the output I can get. Normally this is the way you have to access the abstract class methods and the regular methods. Okay, abstract class methods and the regular methods. Now the same way I can create another thing. Okay, for example, I can explain with the okay, fine. Now what I can do is simply I can create an abstract class. That was a abstract class. My class is a bank, suppose bank account, or else, right? My class is a bank account. My class contained the two things. One was the string of the, suppose, account name, or account number string, public string account number. Okay, account number. In the same way, public int balance, suppose. These are the two variables I am declaring. These variables I can assign by using the constructor. Suppose bank account is my constructor. In this I can pass the ACC number of a string type comma int val, and simply how can I assign this dot account number equals to ACC number. In the same way, this dot balance equals to val. Okay, this is the way I can assign a values, but you are not directly allowed to create an object, right? Then how can you pass these values? Only through the what it is, by using the child class only. Simply I can create an object for the deposit here only. Why? Because suppose we have a, I am taking the one bank account as an example. We have the several types of bank account. One will be the what we are calling it as suppose savings account is there, current bank account is there, right? You have the different types of accounts, but every account have the two things are the same, account number and the balance. And deposit is also same. Deposit means only you have to enter the money. But when coming to the withdrawals, withdrawal has the suppose some accounts to need to maintain the minimum balance of the something, and some accounts to maintain the draft limit amount, like that. In the withdrawal there are some differences we have there. The same way I can create in one method here, public for deposit, public void deposit, public void deposit of, in the deposit method I have to pass the int amount, right? In that what I have to do, I can increment the amount, right? This dot balance plus equals to amount. Okay, this is nothing but a, if you are writing like this means this means this dot balance equals to, if you are writing that shorthand operators means the same thing, this dot balance plus amt. What you are writing here, it will be the two times, one at the left hand side, one with the right hand side, and you have to submit. This is the way, but simply we are using the shorthand operators. Okay, and suppose in the same way, suppose in the same way I am amount deposit the amount. Okay, it is fine. And withdrawal amount, withdrawal also I have to write, right? But that withdrawal I can write by using the public, suppose abstract class. I can write it as a abstract. Suppose in general I can simply like write like this, public void withdrawal of, in this, if I am write like this it will throws an error. Why? Because you are not writing the any implementation. Because of that you have to mention it as a abstract. The same thing, the same thing, next I am going to discuss the interfaces. Then interfaces it will allow, but in the abstract classes, suppose you want to declare a methods with a unimplemented methods, then must you have to use the abstract keyword. Why? Because you are declaring this class as an abstract, you are declaring this class as an abstract. Because of that, in the same way, suppose I can have the another class, it was a account type of saving. Suppose class, my class is savings account. Suppose saving account, it was extended by the, what is my class, bank account, right? This error because of I am not write the unimplemented methods. And also here I have a constructor, so I need to pass the values to my constructor. How can I pass the values to my constructor? By using the super keyword. Suppose first I have to create constructor for this class. Why? Because I can create an object for the savings account class. So first I have to create for this class constructor. My constructor is string, same account number, comma, int balance, suppose. Okay, super of acc comma balance, right? This is the way you can pass the values to the abstract classes. Abstract classes you are inherited to the some class, so create constructor to that class and discuss the super keyword, right? Like that savings account. Now one method is there. What is the method? Withdrawal method unimplemented. You have to implement, you have to write the implementation here. Public void withdraw, public void withdraw of int amount. Okay, in the amount I have to write the some cases. Suppose the withdrawal limit is suppose I am maintaining my savings account limit as a 500. If how can I access the balance? I have to access the balance, right? So this dot, or simply I can use the balance minus amt. Okay, balance minus amt is greater than 500. Suppose after the amount minus only I have to suppose in my account 1000 rupees is there. I am trying to withdraw the 1000, then 1000 minus 1000 it will be the 0. So but minimum limit I have to maintain the 500. So if the balance amount after the deduction of the withdrawal it will be the greater than 500 only, I am allowed to withdraw, or else not allowed to withdraw. Then I can simply mm, sys out of withdrawal successful. Suppose I can mention it as a withdrawal successful. Withdrawal successful. If you observe in before, in the concept of encapsulation we are not accessing the balance variable directly by using the class name or by using the getters and setters we are accessing, but here we are not declaring those balance as a private constraint. Here we are declaring as a public constraint, so you can directly access it. Okay, next. Next, the same thing. Suppose here I can write, right, in the same way, else sys out of suppose withdraw balance exceed withdraw balance exceed withdraw balance. This is the way. The same way, I can create the same thing for the another classes of current account. Same thing, but I can go with the current account. It is a current account. and this is also I have to change to the current account, and this is the withdraw method. Already withdraw method is in the parent class, but you are here, what you are doing is override. So you can mention here as override. If you are not mentioning the override also, it will fine. But if you are mentioning the override, the advantage is, suppose I am entering the method name is wrongly, then it will throws an error. Normally it will not throws an error if you are not mentioning this override. But if you are mentioning the override, it will throws an error. Why? Because if you are mentioning the override means you are overriding one method, but withdraw without w any method it will not find. So because of that, it will throws an error. By the programming constraint, you have to mention the override above the withdrawals. That means overriding methods. Overriding methods above the method declaration, you can use the at override annotations. This we are calling as a annotation. What is the purpose of the at override annotation is, in a if you are typing the 1,000 lines of code, in that case uh, in that case you are entering the names as a wrongly, then you can easily identify why you are getting the error. Because of here it is fine, you are inherited from the only one class, but if you are inherited from the thousands of classes, then it's difficult to write. You have to remember the name. Then it will, when you are mentioning the override, it will intimate you are entering the wrong name, then you can check it. That is the purpose. In the way, suppose here I can mentioning the drafting limit as 1500. It was a draft limit. Okay, we are calling it as a draft limit. Withdrawal successful or else exceed withdrawal. Then you can create an object for the savings account here. Saving account, yes, equals to new saving account. Here you can pass the values, control C, control V of I can pass the values of my account number is 12345, and my balance is suppose I want to set the balance, right? Initial balance is 1000. Okay, in the same way I can use it for the suppose you want to perform the deposit. S dot deposit of my balance is 0. Suppose 500 I have to deposit. Okay, simply S dot withdraw of 1000. Okay, withdraw of 1000. Withdraw of 1000. In the same way you can create for the concrete also, not at all any issue. First deposit was successful. Okay, I am not writing any print message for the deposit, right? Exceeded the withdraw balance. Why? Because in before I have the 1000. In before I have the 1000. If I go with the deposit of 500, then it will be the 1500. But I am trying to withdraw the 1000, but I have to limit the greater than 500. So because of that, if you are mentioning with the greater than or equal to 500, then it shows a withdrawal successful. My condition is different. Here I am mentioning the condition of greater than 500. If you are mentioning the greater than or equals to, then it will be fine. Okay, this we are calling as an abstraction. Abstraction is simply you are defining the methods in somewhere class, you are writing the implementation in the other one. This withdraw method is there. This withdraw method you are writing different implementations in the savings account, different implementation in the current account also. You are writing different things. Suppose here I am not mentioning the any at override annotation, right? Suppose if I am removing the w at the last, then it will not throw any error. Why? Because it will take this as a separate method name. But if I am mentioning here it as an at override, checks at override, it will checks the withdraw without w exists in the parent class or not. If not, then it will be the w. We are calling this as a method overriding. Method overriding means you are override the implementation. Why? Because suppose here you have a method of the withdraw. Here you have the method of the withdraw. You are overriding the implementation. You are not writing any implementation. Suppose I have the deposit here is right. The deposit also I can override. Method overriding is simply same method name, same parameter code, different implementations. Suppose public void deposit. Okay, this is a not irregular method. That means a regular method what you are using before. Simply I can mention here as override annotation. If you are not mentioning the override annotation also, it is same. In before, if you observe, if I am not mentioning the at override, it will not throw an error. If I am mentioning the at override, it will throw an error. Why? Because in the deposit method, I am passing the one parameter as a to the method, but I am not passing anything here. Because of that, it will check. So it will intimate to you. You can check that you are entering the current method name or not. Int suppose amt. Okay, then I can write here as sys out of this is a deposit. If I create an object for the savings account and call the deposit method, this method will execute, not the bank account deposit method. Why? Because you are overriding the implementation of the deposit in the savings account. So this will be implementation. This name. If you observe, here is the deposit, the same name. Here also the amount parameter also count same. And but the implementation in that you are implementing the balance. Here you only just printing the this dot balance. Suppose if I run this, this is deposit, not the this one will exit withdrawal balance. Why? Because my amount is only 1000, but I try to remove the 1000 only. So because of that, it will throw an error. Deposit method it will not execute. Okay, that is the thing with the abstract classes and the abstract methods and the regular methods. In the abstract class, you have to remember the only one thing. You can declare with the abstract keyword, and also the methods without implementation also you are declaring with the abstract keyword, and with implementation those the things are you are using by implementation, and override also you can do it. Okay, override we are also discussed the override in the inheritance concept also. Here let's sing. Okay, this is the method overriding, and like the way mm, okay. Another thing is there interfaces. Interfaces is also like a abstraction, but the difference is abstract methods can allow the both regular and regular and abstract methods, but interfaces only allows the abstract methods, not the regular methods. That is the difference between the both the things. Entire will be the same. Suppose this is my class, right? So I can create one interface. For creating the interfaces, you have to use the interface as a keyword. Interface as a keyword. My interface name will be the interface one. Okay, here I can mention public void deposit. This is an abstract method. If you are not mentioning the abstract keyword in front of that, it is abstract method only. Why? Because you are not writing any implementation for that. But this syntax is not allowed to use in the abstract classes. Why? Because in the abstract classes, abstract methods must declare with the abstract keyword. But interfaces, you are only creating the abstract classes, so you are not mentioning the abstract keyword also. It's the fine. Simply, if I'll try to go with the public void deposit one of, okay, it will throw an error. Why? Because interfaces not allows the regular methods. Change the deposit once to the static or change deposit one to the abstract method type. Why? Because interfaces only allows the abstract methods. Okay, abstract methods, that means interfaces only allows the abstract methods. That means you can inherit it into the interfaces one, extends interface one, right? Extends it, and you can simply write the unimplemented methods, public void deposit. How many unimplemented you are writing, that all are you have to write. Suppose deposit is one unimplemented method, in the same way deposit one is one unimplemented method. Okay, how many unimplemented methods or the abstract methods you are written in the interfaces, all the things are you have to be implemented in the child classes. This error, I have to write the implementation, right? Okay, sorry. Extends, okay. uh, when you are dealing with the interfaces, you must use the implements as a keyword. Implements, not the extents. Implements, implements is the keyword, helps to inherit to the interfaces. Okay, for by using the interfaces you have to achieve the inheritance, then must you have to use the implements. We already seen that at the time of multiple inheritance concept, right? Then you can write the implementation. This is the at override. You can mention at override or not, it will be the fine. If you are mentioning, then it will check you are entering the exact name what you are used in the parent class or not. Simply interface is acts like a blueprint of your class. Why? Because you are what you are writing implementation for the deposit, you are declaring here, right? What the methods it has and all the things, right? This is the concept of interfaces. That thing is same. You can write the unimplemented, then you can create an object for this, then you can access it. Like what you are doing for the abstraction, those all can be you can do for the interfaces. But the thing, the difference between the abstraction and the interfaces is in abstract allows the both abstract methods and the regular methods, but interfaces only allows the abstract methods, not regular methods. That is the basic difference between the abstraction and the interfaces. Okay, next thing is polymorphism. My new class is poly. Simply, polymorphism is nothing but one method you can use it as a many things. Suppose in before you are seeing the method overriding, right? Polymorphism means method overloading. Method overloading. Imagine a thing. I have a one class. Okay. Mm, okay. Class name will be the poly. Suppose class name is poly. In that class, I can declare one thing of a public. It is add. Add is my method. Something like addition of the two numbers. Okay. Addition of the two numbers. Public void add of. I can pass. This is one method, right? Okay. Right. Control C. Control V. And control V. If you observe what I am doing here, all are the same names, so it will throw an error. And I'll do one thing, int a, okay, comma, okay, int a and int b, sorry, int a comma int b. Now it will not throws an error. This is called as we are method overloading. That means one method, same method name, right? Here also add, here also the add, and here also the add. But what will be the difference? Parameter count. Here no parameters I am passing. Here single parameter I am passing. It will be the two parameters. Like the way you can use the another thing also. Control C. Int C. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. But when I am calling this method, which method it can execute? Suppose I'll do one thing. Sysout of add method with no parameters. Parameters. Control C. The same thing. Add method with one parameter. Same thing. Add method with two parameters. Add method with three parameters. I have to create the object for that, right? What is the method name? Poly, right? So poly p1 equals to new poly of, right? P1 dot add. If I call like this, then first method will be executed. If I call p1 dot add of 1, then second method will be called. That means with single parameter. Suppose p1 dot add 1 comma 2. Then method with two parameters will be executed. That means it will be execute the method based on the calling time, what the parameters you are passing. This is the concept of method overloading. Method overloading means simply same method name, different parameter count. Same method name with a different parameter count. Then it will print the first. What happened? Add method with no parameters for this. Add method with one parameter for this. Add method with two parameters for this. That means based on the calling of the method, it will be execute the things based on the calling. Okay, this is the method overloading. You can go for the different things. Suppose suppose why this helps to you is because of suppose you have to draw something, the same method, right? The taking the example of the addition also. Suppose I am writing the different parameters, I want to achieve the addition of two numbers or addition of three numbers, addition of four numbers. Then if I writing only for the method addition of two numbers, it will be achieved for the only addition of two numbers. But if I write for the addition of three numbers, then it will be only helpful the addition of three numbers. So if you are with the same method name, you have to write for the different implementations, then it is the way. Okay, you have to, in a general, they are asking the difference between the method overriding the overloading. Overriding is simply for the different implementation with the same method name and the parameter count. Overloading is the different parameter count, different parameter count. This is you have to remember with the same name. And you have to discuss. Okay, suppose I have a thing. I think it is exists in this or not. Wait a minute. Public void add of Sorry. Right. Suppose we are calling this as a spread operator. Normally if you are aware about the JavaScript, then you can observe the spread operator. Spread operator is nothing but, suppose you are not know how many parameters you are passing, right? How many parameters you are passing, you don't know about that. At the time you can simply use this. Suppose I don't know how many parameters I can pass. I think sum of is a method. Sum of, or simply I can print the R. Okay. uh, I want to call that, right? Simply wait a minute. Fine. Suppose I'll write for the up to 3 parameters, right? I can go with the 4 parameters, p1 dot 1 comma 2 comma. That means you are not aware about, right? So how many you can pass? Sorry, p1 dot add. That means you are not aware about that. How many you can pass? In that case, spread operator will helps to you. It will throw something of what it is, reference. I'll do one thing. Simply arcs dot length I can print. It will throws like a one array. It will throws like one. It all will be taken as like a single array. So I can mention that how many parameters I can pass here. 5. Only 5 numbers only I can pass, right? So because of that, this entire thing will be considered as a one array. Suppose you want to submit now, then you can simply write what are the things for. What I'm doing here is because of that. Sorry. Okay, simply I want to go with the array, right? So arcs of I have to do. Suppose I am passing the different parameter, not like in the different parameter, not like in the order of 1 2 3 4 5. I can pass 1 5 6 like that. Then because of that, right? So depends on that. It will be getting the 15, right? Why? Because this is actually it has to take. This is the actually you have to take, right? Because of that. Okay, right. This is all about the polymer. Okay, right. This is all about the polymorphism is simply nothing but a one name you can use for the multiple things with the different parameters. That is the thing with the polymorphism. Okay, right. I'll give some tasks to you, then you can practice. You can be good with the abstraction and the polymorphism topics. Okay, clear. Thank you to this. This class is not recorded, I think.